Welcome to the best football show. I'm your host, Brian Baldinger, at Baldy NFL across all social media platforms. You can download this show on your free Odyssey app, wherever you get your apps, and you can like and subscribe to it and follow. We're here. Today is Wednesday. It is April 2nd, Wednesday, April 2nd right now. We are basically 22 days away from the NFL draft. And tomorrow, April 3rd, I leave to go to Boulder, Colorado. I will be part of this 2-hour live show that the NFL Network's doing at Colorado's Pro Day, which is Friday, April 4th. And honestly, it could have two of the top 5 players in the draft, in Shedeur Sanders, along with Travis Hunter. And so it's going to be well attended. I'll be down the field commentating on the show that Shedeur puts on. Whatever it is, whether it's a throwing session with his receivers or whether he's running or going through drills, it remains to be seen. And likewise for Travis Hunter. Because when everybody is putting these mock drafts together, we're sort of stuck if we kind of feel, and believe me, Tennessee and Brian Callahan and his group will be there evaluating Shedeur. So whatever you thought last week about Cam Ward's pro day, which I was at the University of Miami 9 days ago, it seemed like it cemented his place as the number 1 pick in this draft with him as quarterback going to Tennessee. However, nobody has seen Shedeur work out, okay? He's going to work out on some level. Maybe he doesn't run like Cam Ward doesn't run. I don't know. But I'm sure he's going to have a pretty scripted throwing session. And so there's a lot of question marks about Shedeur. As a player, as a person, as a leader, the son of Deion Sanders, there's questions, right or wrong. But I'm going to just tell you, I did this exercise yesterday because before Deion and Shedeur and Shiloh and the group came to the University of Colorado a little over 2 years ago from Jackson State, Colorado was an absolute doormat in college football. I think they had won 1 game in 2021 or 2022. 1 game. They're now on the map and winning games. So whatever you want to say about Shedeur, he took over a program that was just awful, and they made him competitive. So I went back and I watched every pass attempt of Shedeur's over the last 2 years since he arrived at Colorado of 20 yards or more in the air. And I'm just going to tell you flat out, he saw a lot of blitzes. He saw a lot of offensive line breakdowns. He was sacked a lot and hit a lot. He had a lot of just bubble screens and hitch routes, but he also threw a lot of deep balls. And I got to tell you, you go back and you go through that exercise of every deep ball, 20 yards or more down the field, he's got great deep ball accuracy. I'm just going to tell you right now, his deep ball accuracy, he doesn't complete every pass, but the ball isn't going into the stands. It's not going 5 yards over receiver's head ever. Like his ability to throw off platform, on the move, from a dirty pocket, down the field, I think is almost extraordinary. Because honestly, deep ball accuracy is one of the last things that any quarterback really develops, if they develop it at all. And he has that. So I don't really want to look at and listen to what anybody says about Shedeur Sanders. I've never met him. Until I meet him, and I'm going to, till I interview him, and I will, till I talk to his dad about him, and Warren Sapp and other guys on the team, his receivers, I'm holding all judgment for Friday. And I think a lot of teams want to do the exercise the exact same way. No prejudgments, no matter what visits they've had with them. Like, let's just watch them go compete. I think you can glean a lot from watching a quarterback throw a football. I learned a lot watching Cam Ward throw a football the other day. I realized this guy can really put some torque on the ball. He can generate speed, spin, good leadership ability, good ability just to mingle and introduce himself and talk to people. I learned a lot about Cam Ward. But I learned a lot watching Justin Herbert throwing football or Patrick Mahomes. Like, you watch elite throwers throw the football, you go, okay, that's what real arm talent looks like. Josh Allen, some of these guys, Lamar Jackson. That's what elite arm talent looks like. I want to see if Shedeur has elite arm talent. I think you can tell. I mean, he'll have certain throws in there where he's got to drive the ball. He's got to stick it. He's got to put it into a window. There's going to be certain throws. And usually these sessions go around 60 plays. But there'll be certain throws where he wants to demonstrate that ability. And can he really torque it without having to really step into it? Yes, you want to have a weight transfer, but you don't want to have anything that's you're just having this big windup. So we're going to learn a lot. Then there's Travis Hunter, because honestly, people really don't know right now. They know that Travis Hunter has started at corner and he has played a lot of wide receiver, and he has started at both. And in some games, he's played 100 or more snaps at both those positions. And in talking to Dion back in January at the Hula Bowl, he said, he's going to play both ways, Baldy. Like, his endurance is crazy. His love of football is second to none. He wants to play both ways. Now, Mike Vrabel came out this week and said, well, we want to see him specialize in one area and get to know that side of the ball first. Then we'll work on the packages for another side. That makes sense to a degree. I just think a guy that has gone through college football, being a two-way player, is a little bit more prepared to play both ways than somebody like Mike Vrabel, who caught X amount of touchdown passes in his career as a tight end after being the starting linebacker. I think this is different. This guy has crazy endurance. And in college football, where a lot of these offenses in the Big 12 are running a play every 14 or 16 seconds, that can be tough on your endurance, but they don't do that in the NFL. There's certain teams that go up tempo for sure, but not for an entire game like they do in the Big 12 or in college football. So I think, if you get the 40-second clock in between plays, his ability to play both ways is going to go a lot further. And I can honestly see Travis Hunter playing 90 to 100 plays in a game. I absolutely can see it, regardless of what side of the ball he starts on. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is because you can go through all these mock drafts, and it's an exercise, and everybody does a mock draft or multiple mock drafts. But really, if Cam Ward right now is the prohibitive number one pick at Tennessee, without Tennessee coming out and saying it, the draft starts with Cleveland at number 2. Cleveland right now has Kenny Pickett as the only healthy quarterback on its roster. Kenny Pickett. Deshaun Watson coming back from another torn Achilles. Nobody believes he's going to be ready to go at training camp. They need a quarterback. So do they go number 2 with Shedeur? Do they trade back? The New York Giants, yes, they've signed Russell Wilson. Yes, they signed Jameis Winston. But do they fall in love with Shedeur and go, that's our quarterback of the future? Do the Las Vegas Raiders, picking 6, go, boy, if Shedeur falls past the Giants, is that our guy? And you can just go down the line to teams that might be interested. Pittsburgh at 21, if something doesn't happen with Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know where or does somebody trade up with Cleveland or the Giants or New England at 4, who isn't going to take a quarterback? Does somebody trade up if Shedeur drops? But a lot of these question marks will be decided or partly decided on Friday. I'm doing a live 2-hour TV show on the NFL Network around Colorado's Pro Day. Now, the other part of this is, where does Travis Hunter go? Like, I believe him and Abdul Carter are neck and neck, 1 and 2, for being the best players in this draft, regardless of position. So does the draft start with Travis Hunter at 2 to Cleveland, or with the Giants at 3, or with the Patriots at 4? You see where we're going. Like, these 2 players could both go in the top 5, or One can, and one could drop. One could get traded. It's going to affect the draft. And so I kind of think like this is really late for a pro day, April 4th. Most of the pro days have already come and gone. There'll be private workouts, for certain players that have coming back from injury or dealing with injuries. That's normal. But this is almost well-timed because there's so much tied to these two players in this draft. All right. So with that, let's just jump off to the cornerback market. Because if you look at Travis Hunter as a starting corner, maybe he's the best corner in the draft. Some people think that. Some people just think he's the best athlete in the draft, maybe not the best corner. So then there's a discussion there. Because you kind of want to rank the players by position, at least 1 through 5, 1 through 10. All right. So I interviewed Jahdae Barron yesterday. His tape at Texas is fantastic. Like he's the Thorpe Award winner. He's from Austin, Texas. He was a receiver in high school. He can play anywhere on the defensive side of the ball in the secondary. He can play as your press corner, off the ball corner. He can play inside the way, say, Trent McDuffie has played inside and outside for Kansas City. He can play in a dime linebacker role. He can go to a safety position. He's very, very moldable because he's such a good tackler. And he's so good with the ball in the air. Like his, he ran a 4.39 40. All right. You can compare him to Trent McDuffie because they're both the 6 foot, 190-pound corner. They both have length. They both have, but I believe Trent McDuffie ran like a 4.5. Jahdae Barron ran a 4.39. Like he's a little faster in the 40 and the 10-yard split. He might have a little quicker break on the ball. And we've seen how good Trent McDuffie has been in Kansas City. And then you go to injured corners that you finished the season injured. Will Johnson, at Michigan. I mean, you look at his tape, he's got 6 interceptions. 3 of them, have been run back for touchdowns before he got hurt this year. And his only thing is he has not been able to stay on the field. He got hurt last year in the 4th or 5th game. He, with a turf toe, all right, did not get back on the field. Was injured this offseason. Believe it was a hamstring. Hasn't tested, all right, hasn't been able to stay on the field at Michigan. It's a concern. But healthy, the guy's got great skills. Then if you go to Notre Dame and you look at Benjamin Morrison, he got hurt this year, I think the 5th game. But you watch his tape, 2023, first games this year, like what style do you want to play? You want to play press man? Like you want to play in phase? You want to play off man? You want to play zone? Like you watch that guy, and Notre Dame plays a lot of coverages. I mean, they're pretty advanced with how they play defense on that side. Benjamin Morrison is an elite-looking prospect to me. So you have to get past the injury. I mean, so, I'm just giving you 4 right now. There's a lot more than that. But those 4, because generally, if you want an elite corner, if you want Patrick Surtain, if you want Trent McDuffie, if you want Quinyon Mitchell, if you want Terrion Arnold, I mean, I go on and on and on, you're going to spend a first-round pick. And generally, a pretty high first-round pick. They don't last to the back of the first round. And usually, the quarterbacks go, the edge rushers might go, then corners kind of go. That's kind of, or it could be corners, edge rushers, offensive tackles, some combination right there. Last year was the elite draft, for offensive tackles. They all went. Defense didn't go to number 16. So it'll be interesting to see how they view Travis Hunter in this lineup of corners. Is he corner number 1 or is he just athlete number 1? And then the corner market starts at Jahdae. So then let's just go to the final. Yesterday, a lot of things came out of the owners' meeting at the Breakers in Palm Beach. One of them was this Sony Hawkeye, which can virtually signal the ball all right, and spot the ball. I think we need this. The chain gang is not going away. They're still going to be there. I believe they're still going to measure at times. But I think when you got to make these spots on 4th down, 2-minute drill, I don't know how it's going to work yet, but they have the technology to be able to spot the ball. Officials, wing guys are still going to come in and spot it, play to play to play. But I think the spot can be moved by how the virtual Skyhawk technology looks at the ball. We have to adjust this. I'm not a big fan of technology in football, but it's not going to go away. It is here to stay. Spotting the ball is part of it. The instant replays from, whether it was a face mask or not a face mask. If a call was made right now for a face mask and they go back and review and the guy didn't touch his face mask, they're going to have the ability to overturn it right there in real time. That's a good thing. But you can't go back to a play and go, they should have called the face mask and use this replay from New York to call it. It can only overturn the call. So there's some of the things. They're going to table the tush-push until May. There'll be more discussions about it. They got heated about it. That's fine. It's still going to come down to a vote in May, whether it's going to be a legal play or not. So we'll get to that when it happens. But, the league is always reactive. The technology we're trying to catch up to the speed of the game right now. So the technology is coming with this virtual Skyhawk. Sony Skyhawk makes it. So anyways, we always get tweaks to rules. It's becoming more difficult to officiate because of what we see in replays now and how often we see them, where we can make the judgments ourselves whether they got it right or wrong. And we're just in a world where you can't live with bad calls or wrong calls. And so they're trying to fix that without literally making it an AI game and robots are going to make all these calls. It's still going to be human error. Still going to have 7 officials on the field. Anyways, that's what I have for you today. This is the Best Football Show. I am traveling to Boulder tomorrow. Hope to go over to the Colorado football office tomorrow when I land and talk to everybody. But I hope to join you next, either before or after this Colorado Pro Day, and give you my take on what I see and what I report, who's there, and just the conversations that are being taken place amongst a lot of the personnel people and coaches that will be well attended in Boulder on Friday. Thanks for joining me, everybody. This has been the Best Football Show. I'm your host, Brian Baldinger. Look forward to talking to you real soon.